church is really in the pivotal centre of Case Drum, Baldonnel, which is the headquarters of the Irish Air Corps, and it's just as you come in through the main gate off the main square. So it's right at the, more or less the centre of the camp. We're 4 miles from Lucan, we're 3.5 miles from Clondalkin, and about 4.5 miles from Tala. It was dedicated in 1944, which is just really during the war. That's why the church is almost totally concrete, because there was a huge shortage of wood in Ireland at the time. It's a very severe winter, and it is dedicated to Our Lady of Loreto, patroness of all involved in aviation. The logo for our 75th anniversary, and then the chaplain's crest window, and also the roundel for the Air Corps, which is just the tricolour in a circle with the two wings off to one side that everybody wears on their uniform here in Baldonnel. Our propeller is a Spitfire propeller, probably the most valuable thing in the church. It's certainly in old pounds it was worth about £70,000 because it's an original, so that makes it almost €100,000 now. So it's here it represents the cruciform shape. Obviously it represents the cross, but it also just gives an aviation theme to the church, as it's built. The church is built along the lines of a World War II hangar with the curvature kind of the ceiling. We're very proud of the stained glass windows. They've all gone in the last about 5-6 years. We began as a project with the ones for the 50th anniversary, sorry, the 75th anniversary of the Air Corps, and that was in 1997. Almost every aspect of the Air Corps is represented somewhere along the line in one of the windows. The windows will be along the sides of the church, where were put in by individual people. I can think of one, the number 1 fighter squadron, which is unusual, but that was sponsored or kind of looked after by Alice Glenn, who's quite a famous TD and senator, and it was in honour of her husband, General Bill Glenn, who was an early general here in the Air Corps, and he was a member of Fighter Squadron for many, many years. Our Millennium window we put up to dedicate the church. It was the first of the small windows to go in, and that was just to mark the Millennium using the international logo of the Millennium, and we dedicated that to all the chaplains who've served here in Baldonnel over the years. Another one of interest would be the Silver Swallows, who were our aerobatics team for many, many years here, flying the Fuga Magisters, and they won all sorts of prizes for best displays in various air shows. So we're kind of proud to have them immortalised or commemorated here in this church. We also have one dedicated to Spitfire and to the Hurricane, and what I think is probably the best, the artist's name is Alan Tomlin, and probably the classiest one that he's done of them all is the one of the Alouette 3, and that went in there about 2 years ago, and it's incredible. You can almost feel the movement through the glass. The quality of the workmanship is incredible. One of our kind of big, at the main door entrance to the church, we have a kind of a series of stained glass windows dedicated really to all who've died in the course of military aviation over the years, but particularly to our 4 friends and personnel who died in the accident in Tramore, Dauphin 248, and in that we have one generic kind of airman whose rank markings are specifically fudged because to allow him to be of any rank, he represents anybody who was on the aircraft that day, wearing his safety gear and equipment and looking towards kind of the starburst towards the heavens in many ways. And that it's kind of it's a sad window in many ways, because most of us still serving still remember that particular tragedy, and we knew those people involved. But yet, I think when you have a look at it yourselves, and you'll be able to see that it gives hope for the future as well, and it commemorates the bravery of the 4 lads who died trying to save other people's lives. Again, the Book of Remembrance was hand-built, crafted by a master craftsman who's just on his pre-retirement leave here, Brendan O'Donoghue, and he also handmade the baptismal font. And the book itself it contains the names of all our deceased personnel, anybody who's ever worked here in Baldonnel. When they pass on, as soon as we get the details, we put it into the book, and there's a perpetual light shining over it, and people come in, light candles, remember their loved ones or people they worked with. The O&E Memorial Garden is it was built by the Organisation of National Ex-Servicemen and Women, and it's to commemorate all ex-Air Corps personnel who have died over the years. At any time of the day or afternoon or evening you pass by, invariably you'll come in and you'll see a candle lit lads, they mightn't come to church, they mightn't be regular goers themselves, but you know, when things are getting in trouble or they're a spot of bother at home, they'll often come in here and they'll get a bit of respite. It's purposely, it's a soft environment. The military life can be a harsh life, so that's why I've tried to kind of make it a soft, pleasant church that they can come in and spend time and relax and spend time with the God of their heart, and maybe they'll get some inspiration and some help.